I thought we might all die over the weekend, but here we are. Thrones and Scones, back for another week. Season 1, Episode 6. Of course, we're your weekday morning podcast. We talk Game of Thrones over breakfast. Tony, Hans, Jeremy, you can figure out which one's which tonight. Today, whatever it is, we're hitting, as I said, Season 1, Episode 6, A Golden Crown. And Blueberry. Welcome, boys. Did you enjoy your couple days off?
Yes, I did. It was nice. It was a good time to chill with the family and playing Smash Brothers, which I don't know. Yeah, I'm telling you, as a video game, it's one of those rare ones I see like playing with my kid for like a long time. It's super fun. So
Do you have everything unlocked?
oh no, I think we're like 20 characters. I think what is there like 74?
No idea. I just know you're trash.
Yep, I'm trash.
Yeah. So not to get too sidetracked, how are you liking it so far, though?
It's ungodly fun. Now, if you think about the originals, like N64, right, where I think there was like maybe 12 or 15 characters. It's so cool to play the differences and see how balanced the game is now. Mm-hmm. And what's great is like I have a 6-year-old who is, just getting his feet wet, so he's played a little bit on the Super Nintendo. He's playing a little bit on the Switch now, a little bit on the PlayStation, and he just is super fascinated with just this game. So it's good. It's good. But
I assume what you mean there is that you're beating his ass so bad that he pees his pants and gets his feet wet.
He does cry a lot in this game, and I don't know. Bad parenting, # that's me. So yeah, it's
Just
all
a little
good.
bit. Teach him the right values early.
Right, exactly.
I want to say a huge thank you. We got over the last week and over the weekend. I think all three of us got so many throners to tune in and to listen in, and it's been so fun. You guys have been raging, yeah,
raging. Raging throners. Although it is hard to determine just by the clicks who is a throner and who is a sconer.
It is a line that will have to be drawn eventually. So choose your side. # Civil War movie poster. We'll do. But we've been trying to take your feedback. Of course, if you ever have any, give it to us. The one thing that we've been hearing, and no surprise here, is that we are a little confusing, a little scatterbrained, because that is the very nature of our being. But we know this is already a confusing show, so maybe we should take a little help. There are people who compile these wikis. So for episode 6, this is again the Golden Crown. Here's what the wiki says, and then we'll see what we say. Reinstated as the Hand, Ned sits for the king while Robert is on a hunt. Ned issues a decree that could have long-term consequences throughout the 7 kingdoms. At the Eyrie, Tyrion confesses to his crimes, it's in quotes, and demands that Lysa give him a trial by combat. Joffrey apologizes to Sansa, semicolon. Viserys receives from Drogo his final payment for Daenerys. Which I think is funny grammar.
Good show.
But that's gobbledygook. It's mumbo jumbo. Boys, what did you think of episode 6? We're at that tipping point now, halfway through the first season.
Yeah, I thought it was a good episode, actually. There's a lot going on in this. I'll probably focus a lot on just Tyrion in this one. I thought that was an awesome part of the show, from the trial to a couple comments with just like what you're seeing from just like with Lysa and the whole moon door, what kind of a cool setup that is out there. But one thing that I thought was really interesting in this episode specifically was Sansa. You see her just kind of pining and getting upset with Joffrey, and you start to think maybe she's gonna get that he's just asshat, and his mom is like constantly feeding him this sweet nothing of like, no, you love her. And she's like, no, I don't. I don't fucking love her. She's like, yes, you do. Go give her this. And she's like, all right. And then she's like literally like an 8th grader receiving a rose for the first time, right? Like she's just back in love with him. And that really kind of plays into her character in the next couple episodes, I think.
I do have a note that just says Sansa is a bitch.
Oh, God, she is.
She has that.
That was my note too.
We're so in sync. We have. I assume you're talking about that conversation she has with her septa.
Yes.
She's like, "Do you have hair under there?" And she's like, "I do. I've never seen it. Would you like to?" No.
Yeah, that was pretty cold.
where are you from again? And then she starts telling a story. Oh, I forgot. I don't care. She's heartless, Sansa.
Yeah.
It almost makes you, Sansa, for those of you who have seen the show, struggles. I think she has one or two minor setbacks later on, getting married off a couple times, getting assaulted a few times.
They're nice gentlemen, at least, though.
Yeah.
They're caring.
Yeah.
So you almost feel bad for her a little bit. Conversely, her little baby brother has what might be his only smile from this point on in the show. That horse riding scene with Bran, he is positively giddy, and I don't know the next time we see him not mopey.
It's true. It's a good point.
Yeah, and then he meets the wildlings out there, or not the wildlings, so the northerns, right?
You're right, they're wild.
The wildlings, yeah. By the way, like another really kind of telling thing when I'm trying to think of her name when she gets captured at the end, and just her,
Asha.
Yeah, just kind of interesting dynamic there of like what you see with a lot of things is that slaving is illegal, right? So we don't have slaves, but we can just take people and then we own them essentially, right? They're like
true.
They're captives. I'm like, so wait, what's the difference, right? They're not a slave, but they're a captive, but they're essentially a slave and they do housework and all these things for you. I thought that was just really
I've never noticed that before. I mean, I guess on the one hand, like she'd be dead otherwise, but that's a good point.
But slaves are illegal, and yet here we are creating slaves. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
this is the Stark family. Oh no, it's slaves.
But she vowed her life, so I mean, she basically volunteered.
It's true. Chewbacca did.
Yeah,
Chewbacca did.
So
She's like, don't kill me, so I can be your slave.
yeah, they gave her a choice. It was either death or vow your life.
Or chains, yeah.
Potato.
Getting Asha to that point is also, by the way, really kind of one of the first moments we get with Robb and like the first real scene we get with Theon. Except a couple episodes ago when we saw his penis.
Yeah, I was gonna say wait because that was the pinnacle. So
Yeah, but it's like he's just,
What
when you
else
just
is
flaunt
there?
it like that. I want to go deeper, Theon. I want to get to know the real you because we all know that penis is going to go anyway.
Yeah, little did I know, he should have been cherishing that penis because unfortunate events do take place down the road where he may or may not be penisless. So
Yeah, well, but I mean, they were nice. They sent it to his dad.
that's true. That's a good point.
I love having Robb in the fray now. It really gives us another character to hope for when we need it, although it does really feel like they're just setting up a replacement for Ned. Like, you kind of get that feeling that, Eddard Stark might just be on his way out the door.
I don't know. That must be down the road, and I don't see that coming. So
It's a very good episode. Again, so much happens. We haven't even talked on anything with Dany and what goes on in the Free Cities and over in Vas Dothrak. Again, this is like our second or third time when we just have to say the Dothraki baby testing methods are foolproof because now not only is Dany saying it, but you've got this oracle who is not only claiming that it's gonna be a boy, but also like the greatest warrior to have ever lived. And we've seen how these people treat like anyone who says the wrong thing and people that they like they just get murdered left, right, and center. So this woman she's ballsy.
she's a reliable source, by the way, right? I mean, from the
I
beginning.
suppose.
The ceremony's cool, right? I think that's with the whole eating of the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
horse
It's a
heart.
horse heart, right?
Yeah.
Which she's like gagging at the end, and I'm trying to gag as I watch it, and she's like, "I'm gonna swallow this." I'm like, "That a girl, that a girl." Yeah, give me those eyes.
Yeah. She did a better job of getting the horse heart down than I'm currently doing at getting this dry ass scone down.
That's blasphemy. Don't say that. Yeah. So with her, and again, you're seeing her now with the dragon eggs. She's there. She's kind of like mothering them. Which, come on, we kind of see it with the direction that's going. Also, starting to see that lineage, that dragon lineage, where she's putting it in the fire, testing those waters, which. We'll see, the real solution to that in the future. What did you think about with I mean, obviously, Viserys comes in later, but where do you see her kind of mindset now with this baby? Do you think she's really protective of this child? You think that's what's pushing her?
I think it's really her big character change where she is realizing, because you can tell in this episode and the next, she is, and she's flaunting it like it's like, oh, I'm the queen, but she's been Khaleesi now the whole season. It's oh, I'm pregnant with the Khale's son, who is going to be a god among men. Nobody can touch me.
Right. Yeah.
She's got this, and I'm sure she loves the kid, but it's like, it's the best excuse. I am not saying that pregnancy is an excuse for women to do whatever they want.
That's what I heard.
And to act.
That's going to be the title of the episode.
Like they own everybody. But that's what she's doing.
Yeah. Jeremy, from someone who has a kid, did it make you feel like a badass?
Having a child? Oh yeah. Every day I wear my child's name across my chest as like this kind of badge of honor. Yeah, no, changes everything, right? I mean, and I think it's in this situation, knowing hopefully that the child came as a willing thing compared to, I think, with Dany, right? So I think that's a difference. Emily was gonna eat the heart, but
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
It's really what it was, and I think it's just because the quality we couldn't guarantee it was organic, and so what are you gonna do about those things? We settled. We went cow. We went cow heart.
So I understand the rationale there for her not eating the heart, and I can say this because I'm his uncle, but I think she should have ate the heart because your son's kind of a little wimp. Just saying.
I feel like we're getting off target, attacking my 6-year-old child. Cool.
Here's the thing, Jeremy. We have wanted to. We established an entire podcast so that we could talk about your parenting.
Intervention time.
No, that's a dope scene though. It's gross. It's gross in a way that we haven't really gotten yet. This is kind of hitting that last. It's the fear factor gross.
Oh yeah, totally.
And we don't get a ton of that in the show, but I didn't love watching that scene. They did a great job.
Yeah, and then kind of transitioning from that with Tyrion, like, I mean, that's a big part. I feel like from the last episode, Tyrion kind of wanders into this bar. He's like, "Hey, Kat, what's up? I see you here hanging out." And she's like, "Oh no, you didn't." And she's like, "My boys." And they're like, "All right, I guess we'll arrest you. Let's go hang out with your sister because she's a cool chick." Hashtag crazy.
Not a cool chick.
Right. So we're out there, right? We're doing this trial. Tyrion is showing why he's a Lannister, right? He's comments on the whole, my intelligence being what makes me, and you really see it. He manipulates his way to getting this gathering. They're going to do the trial. I think everyone sees this as that moment of where Catelyn's going to win. She's put her family at this huge risk. I mean, that's another topic that's been going on. And she's like, "I've caught you. I'm going to get revenge for my son." And he pulls it, right? He pulls off the whole, no, I'm gonna battle. Like, who wants to battle a dwarf? I love how Lysa's like looking around to all of her knights. I was like, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm in. I'll represent you." And then she calls out the one dude who's just like, "Yeah, fuck it. I'm not doing it." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I will. I mean, I can't fight a midget though. I mean, like, come on. It's like, I mean, I can kneel and fight him, I guess. I could be like, I'm like crawling or something." Yeah, exactly. So, and then you get to the battle, which it's a cool scene. It's not, necessarily like the most action, the most gore ever, but it's a telling of, again, using intelligence. I mean, this entire episode really pushes that brain versus brawn thing, and he's like, that knight's worn down, off armor. He's just living the dream.
It's such a thing of and I noticed it later in the episodes as well, where the fights are cool, but they don't have the greatest choreography yet. Like, they've just got a couple guys sticking around the edge that are hanging out. And at one point, like Bronn and Sir Hugh of the Vale, they get into this scuffle near these guys who do not move. Bronn throws one of the guys into Sir Hugh, who then gets up and just continues to stand there. And you're like, I don't think people would react like this. I'm not really sure.
He's like, whoa. Continue?
Continue? All right, we're good. But no. Sir Hugh of the Vale died like a bitch.
He did. Was the brain versus brawn comment intentional?
Ooh, that was good.
No, it wasn't. I mean,
brain versus brawn.
I mean, Braun is, he's a thinker. he's a thinker, so he's more of my brain anyway. So
You see, if I was Bronn, here's what I wouldn't have let happen.
You mean
hey,
Dan?
I stand up for Tyrion of House Lannister because he's super duper rich. Oh, hey, look, Tyrion gets all of his money back and proceeds to give every single cent of it to that jailer who he never promised a specific sum of money to. He could have given half of it to him. And if I was Bronn, I think I would have stabbed him and kicked him down that moon door myself.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, there was no reason he had to give all the money. At that point, it was really just for theatrics, I think.
Yeah.
right, just haha kind of thing.
Can I talk real quick about the very opening of the episode? Because here, and I know it's been a little while since we talked, but we left with Ned Stark dying in the streets the last episode.
Yeah.
And we open up with Ned coming to, oh, I'm so fun. Oh, this is like a drunk person in a movie. And you're just kind of flashing. And there's Cersei, and she's looking all smug, and she's like, I'm the queen. And then Robert's there, and he's like, Ned. And then he hits Cersei in the face a couple times. Wow, wear it like a badge of honor, or I'll honor you again. And they go back and forth. Robert does not care. He goes so far as to mention it once, I think because it's just such a glaring error in the script. He doesn't care at all why Catelyn kidnapped Tyrion. Like, doesn't want to know. Doesn't care at all.
It's the whole honor thing with the Stark family, right? Like he believes in family, literally that structure of like, look, I'm the head of the house, and if it happened under me, then I own it, and I'm going to own it despite having no really role in it.
No, I understand Ned doing what he did. I don't understand Robert not caring. Like, it's treason for all intents and purposes, and Robert just doesn't really seem to want to know why.
I thought you said Ned, my bad. Yeah.
Well, I know that you probably think Robert is Ned.
They're so fat, right? They're both fat and bald. Aren't they both bald in this one? Wait, which is the midget again?
Yeah, exactly.
I think Robert hates. I think he hates Cersei and hates the Lannisters in general, right? I think he could give two flying fucks. He's mostly trying to figure out how to stumble through this, being a king as a this drunk, idealistic kind of king, and I feel like that I think is where that is. I mean, doesn't Robert? I think that's when he's on. This is when they're going out on the hunt, and he's talking to who's his squire out there that's giving him the drink.
Lancel.
Yeah, so I mean, they're having a similar thing. It's like he's reminiscing, right? When he's out there, he's like, "This is why I do this. This is why I'm a king. I want to kill things.
This is why I'm hot."
Yeah, exactly. Where I think the politics stuff are trite, and he throws that in Ned's face multiple times of like, I hate being a king. Wait till you're a king, right? You're going to hate it as much as I do.
I think they really are just. I think they're on the cusp of writing Robert out, and they've stopped caring of him making sense. That was my least favorite part of the episode for me. Really, is that it seems lazy with Robert at this point. What about you guys?
I got to think for a second about my least favorite part. Jeremy, do you have one on the ready?
For me, probably the worst part of this was the Sansa. Like, she just annoys me at this point. She's so whiny and irritable.
Sure.
And it's like, and how can you not see that Joffrey is just giant tool, right?
Yeah.
So I just don't like her character at this point. But I really enjoyed the episode. Like, I mean, I thought the episode, this is one of my favorite ones. Like I told you, like the Tyrion trial, I think, was really, really good. We could talk about maybe some of the stuff going off at Vastroth Rock or whatever it's pronounced.
That was beautiful.
Was it? I'm pretty solid at pronunciating things. That's another good one for you guys.
And just to be clear, I don't like Sansa for 6 seasons. So yeah, it's she can take her time to warm up. It's not gonna come quickly to me.
Yeah, it never ends. I don't even like. That's the problem too. Is at this point when Sansa's on screen, I probably just kind of stop paying attention. I just know the hatred that just brews. So I think my least favorite part. I don't think there's a lot of lows in this episode for me. I think a lot of stuff's happening. I enjoy most of it. I would have to say my least favorite part is maybe how Ned handles when he gets back. He's obviously got the spear through the leg. Granted, it's kind of the first time we see Ned be a little bit more bold like this, but I think just knowing how things happen, I don't like how Ned just goes off on putting the hit out on Gregor Clegane.
Oh gosh, yeah,
on the whole Lannister family, basically.
That's true.
I think it was just, I don't know. It was kind of badass, but again, knowing how it plays out, it seemed a little out of character for him. So.
And right at the end, by the way, speaking of Ned Stark, Ned knows. Ned is on the clock because Ned now knows 100% what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's actually kind of leads into the topic I wanted to talk about with this episode specifically is with looking at the Stark versus Lannister. I feel like Starks are always playing catch up. And they're always a little bit behind with like the game or the, if you will, the Game of Thrones.
I will.
How do you really feel? What is the critical moment in this that you feel like is the nail in the coffins? Like a little foreplay, right? A little foreplay now. What is the worst? Was it Catelyn? Was it taking Tyrion? Do you feel it's Ned's kind of gall with these decisions now? Do you think it was? Do you think Sansa has anything to do with it? With the fact that Joffrey is unhappy with his future? How do you feel like, where is this going for you?
I think the big turn, and I said it when it happened, Catelyn kidnapping Tyrion sets everything else into motion, where it's like, okay, nobody can sit on the sidelines anymore. Shit is about to happen. But Ned telling Cersei in the next episode that, he knows. For mercy for her is the moment that everything goes downhill for the Starks, because that is like, and you had said it earlier, like, are they playing what's the board game that they're playing? Are they playing chess? Ned is not playing chess. I don't think Ned knows what chess is. Ned is not even playing checkers. Ned is playing that game where you have the black tiles and the white tiles, and you just flip one to turn the middle color. I don't even know how the game works, but Ned is
playing
Foursquare
is what I feel like he's doing.
Yeah, Ned is playing Foursquare, and he's trying.
A ball is bouncing, and he's like, "What am I doing?"
He needs to get out of there. Yeah, that was because they even say like, "Oh, swear the knee, blah blah blah, and go live out your days in that waste you call a home." We're getting ahead this next episode, but yeah, that's where things messed up for me. What about you, Hans?
Are you talking about Othello? Is that the game?
That's the one. Yeah. Yeah, duh. Wasn't my description perfect?
Clearly. Doesn't everyone play that game?
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh my God.
I wish I had more profound things to say, but perfect's perfect.
I think that we can also, and I'm going to go ahead and speak for everyone because I'm confident in it, the best moment of this episode is the very end. We've been waiting for it for 6 goddamn episodes.
It's pretty badass that he just like molten gold poured over your head is a pretty awesome way to kill someone, right?
If you're not watching the show at this point, we are talking, of course, about the much needed, vicious and brutal death of Viserys Targaryen, third of his name, the last dragon, and just son of a bitch. He has been getting on our nerves since day one. I will say that gold melted real damn fast. He takes off his belt, he puts it in this pot, and in like 4.5 seconds, it is liquid.
Yeah.
It's like you can't make soup that fast in that crock pot thing that's on there.
I feel like that's what's even more sinister about it, though, is in reality, he would have had to wait so long for that gold to melt, just knowing what was coming.
Right.
And you just got it's like 40 minutes, and it's Viserys with a broken arm sitting there, kneeling down, and just staring at Drogo for 40 straight minutes until he melts his face in.
People start wandering out of the tent like, I don't think this is gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. Stop watching the pot. It's not gonna boil.
It's such a cool scene because this is a little insider tip for you guys. This is the scene that made me watch the show. It was like going around online. I didn't know anything about the show. I hadn't seen it. And then this scene came up, and I don't know who Viserys is, but I'm just like, oh my, that was brutal as hell. And then the next day I started watching.
Yeah, and Dany is hot for him in that moment. She's like, yeah, you pour that over. I mean, did you feel bad for Viserys? I mean, we talk a lot of shit about him, but he stumbles in drunk, he's talking shit. He wants what he feels he has every right to. I mean, he is the heir. He has carrying this weight of this bloodline on. Do you feel bad?
I feel bad for Viserys in the sense that it needed to happen. If, oh no, God, that was going to be real dark. I was going to say, okay, if you have a dog that, bites kids' faces off and is just the worst dog ever, you got to put that dog down. And you feel bad for the dog, but, the dog also needs to, melt in gold. Yeah. So It's not a perfect metaphor, but I think it tracks.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, as long as we weren't trying to get any PETA listeners, I suppose.
It was good. It was a great episode. I think it's maybe my favorite one so far.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. You can find us on Thrones and Scones and listen to us on iTunes, Spotify.
We're everywhere, baby.
Everywhere. And we'll hit you guys on the flip side. And I just have one more question. Are you down with GOT?
Jeremy, you know me.
Except for we all forgot the most important part of the show.
Which was
It's the reason everybody listens.
What everyone was waiting for, Jeremy. The last time we let you sign off. Tony,
hashtag let me host.
how's that blueberry scone?
Oh, Hans, thank you so much for asking, because I know a lot of people out there are caring. You know, they tune in, they want to hear our thoughts on baked goods. My blueberry scone today is from Starbucks.
All right, we're out of time.